7 hidden red flags in yourself that you are ignoring with practical examples. We all have our own unique set of strengths and weaknesses. But sometimes our weaknesses can become red flags that indicate unhealthy or destructive behavior. These red flags can manifest in our relationships, our careers, and our overall well-being. If you're concerned that you may have some red flags in yourself, here are 7 to look out for. If you enjoy this content, do give a thumbs up, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and ring the notification bell so you never miss our insightful video. Now 7 red flags in yourself. 1. Making excuses for other people's behavior. When you make excuses for other people's behavior, you are essentially saying that their behavior is okay. This can be a sign that you have low self-esteem or that you are afraid of conflict. It can also lead to you being taken advantage of by others. For example, if your friend is always late for your plans, you might make excuses for them by saying that they're just a free spirit or that they have a lot going on in their life. However, if you're constantly making excuses for their behavior, it's a sign that you're not setting healthy boundaries or that you're afraid of standing up for yourself. 2. Not speaking up due to a fear of rejection or conflict. If you're afraid to speak up for yourself or to disagree with others, it's a sign that you might have a fear of rejection or conflict. This can be a common red flag in people who have been through trauma or who have low self-esteem. For example, if you're in a meeting and you disagree with a decision that's being made, you might stay silent because you're afraid of being seen as a troublemaker. Or if your partner asks you to do something that you don't want to do, you might say yes even though you don't want to because you're afraid of saying no and starting a conflict. 3. Criticizing and putting yourself or others down. If you're constantly criticizing yourself or others, it's a sign that you might have low self-esteem. This can be a form of self-sabotage that can prevent you from achieving your goals or from having healthy relationships. For example, if you make a mistake at work, you might beat yourself up about it and tell yourself that you're a failure. Or if your friend is going through a tough time, you might criticize them for not being strong enough. These are red flags to look out for. 4. Allowing people to cross your boundaries. If you allow people to cross your boundaries, it's a sign that you might not be setting healthy boundaries for yourself. This can be a sign of low self-esteem or of being afraid of conflict. For example, if someone asks you to do something that you're not comfortable with, you might say yes even though you don't want to because you're afraid of saying no and upsetting them. Or if someone is being rude to you, you might not say anything because you're afraid of confrontation, another red flag to watch for. 5. Basing your worth on people's validation and approval. If you base your worth on people's validation or approval, it's a sign that you might have low self-esteem. This can be a form of codependency that can prevent you from being happy and fulfilled in your life. For example, if you don't get invited to a party, you might feel worthless or like you're not good enough. Or if your partner doesn't compliment you, you might start to think that you're not attractive or desirable. 6. Expecting perfection from yourself or others. If you expect perfection from yourself or others, it's a sign that you might have unrealistic expectations. This can lead to disappointment, frustration, and anger. For example, if you're a perfectionist, you might put a lot of pressure on yourself to perform well at work or school. Or if you have a perfectionistic partner, they might be constantly criticizing you for not being perfect. 7. Self-sabotage. If you're constantly sabotaging yourself, it's a sign that you might have some underlying issues that you need to address. This can be a form of self-harm that can prevent you from achieving your goals or from having healthy relationships. For example, if you have a test coming up, you might stay up late the night before studying instead of getting a good night's sleep. Or if you're in a relationship, you might start fights or pick arguments with your partner in order to push them away. Conclusion. These are just a few of the red flags that you might see in yourself. If you're concerned about any of these areas, it's important to talk to a therapist or counselor who can help you work through them. By becoming more aware of your own red flags, you can start to make positive changes in your life and build healthier relationships with yourself and others.